Brook Burke-Charvet is best known as host of Dancing with the Stars, but this summer she has a new role. She is part of a nationwide effort to help 50 cat shelters in 50 states improve their services and facilities. And in New Mexico, that shelter is the Watermelon Mountain Ranch. And I'm so pleased to say that Brooke joins us this morning with more information. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to have you with us to talk about this. You know, pets are such a big deal for us here in New Mexico. And so we're curious first about your own rescue cats, Willow and Tabby.
Sure, well, it's great to be back with you guys again. You know, 3 years ago, I got contacted by a woman who had a litter of homeless cats, and I went over there to meet one of them, intending on bringing one cat home. I actually came home with two, but as it turns out, they've been a great addition to our family. And I have lots of animals and, you know, 4 children, and I think it teaches them great responsibilities. And, you know, one of the reasons why I partnered with Purina Cat Chow and why I love this 50 Years, 50 Shelters campaign, you know, it's their 50-year anniversary celebrating the length of time that they've been feeding animals. But what they're doing is they're recognizing 50 shelters across the United States. You just mentioned the one in your area.
Sure.
And all it takes is for people to go onto the website, to vote for their shelter. Purina's matching every vote with $1. They've already given over $200,000. And we're actually in Atlanta today trying to help some of the animals here find a home, but we're painting, we're fixing up the shelter. Our goal is really to create a better experience for hopeful adopters, a better environment for the animals. And Purina's giving money, they're giving funds, they're giving supplies. It's been a really great experience so far.
And of course, and having your name attached means so much to so many people because you're a great role model for so many reasons.
Thank you.
And so the program itself, it's true, Brooke. I mean, you know, I've been a big fan for a long time, and I think what you're doing is so great.
Thanks.
Especially here, I mentioned the Watermelon Mountain Ranch. It's a place that so many people, you know, have such a respect and appreciation for right here in New Mexico. How will the program specifically help us? How will it help us?
Well, the program, the funds are meant to help feed the animals, that they're providing supplies. You know, that what happens with a lot of these shelters is they really require volunteer work, they require additional funds from a lot of different sources, but what they're trying to do is just create a better environment at each particular shelter. And then, you know, another great thing to do is people can go and they can volunteer at shelters in their area. I'm going to do that with my kids this summer, you know, get them involved in some community service. It's a fun thing to do. You can play with the animals. You know, there's so many different types of activities that you can do at the shelters, but what Purina's doing is giving money, supplies, and food. Oh,
that's great. And I know you mentioned it before, but will you remind our viewers once again how they can get involved and what they need to do?
Yes, absolutely. It's catchow.com/50 shelters. On that site, they'll find all the selected shelters in different areas, and you vote for one in your state, and then Purina will do the rest.
Great. And on a side note, of course, I told you off camera that I'm such a big fan, as you know, of Dancing with the Stars, and I thought you were fantastic this season. Let me just talk for a second. You know, our show is called New Mexico Style. We talk a lot about fashion. You get the best dresses I have ever seen. That wardrobe department is unbelievable. What is that like? I mean, you feel like, do you feel like a Barbie doll every week?
They are unbelievable. You know, they do such a great job, and that department hand makes all the costumes. And you know, my stylist and I, we have to come up with 22 looks a season, which is a lot. You know how difficult it is to find one great look.
Exactly.
But it's part of my job that I really love. And you know, thanks for saying so. It's a blast. I get to show up in sweats and a ponytail and dress up like a princess at night, and it's really, really fun.
And how are you going to top this season? This season was so good.
I don't know what they're going to do yet. It was so good. And I always know the production does such a great job, you know, assembling the right cast. I haven't heard any rumors yet, which, you know, we probably will find out in August who the new cast will be. And I'm really excited. I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, and what I really appreciate about you as a host is that you've been through that process. And a lot of times when you see hosts, you know, they talk about the experience, but they can't talk from the experience. And you can. And obviously you had a great partner with Derek, and he's obviously continuing on the winning streak. So good for him.
He just keeps reinventing himself.
Right?
He's got 4 Mirrorball trophies now. It's just amazing. But I do have a lot of compassion for what everyone's going through, having been there.
Exactly.
Definitely. It makes a huge difference.
And speaking of compassion, thank you for your compassion for the cats and for the pets. We appreciate that so much, and we appreciate what you're doing. Thanks, Brooke.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a great cause. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being with us, and we'll be right back.
Okay, take care.